The video.
Voila.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett with the Let's Chat with Tanya Barnett show. I am so super excited to have my guest on tonight, the fabulous Kristin Young. She is amazing. she is a she is a wife. She is the founder of Living the Vows. And so I am very excited to have her here. She is a woman after my own heart. Her mission is the same as mine. And we are determined to help wives get right and tight so that they can have great marriages. So thank you so much, Kristin, for saying yes.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way I could say no. I was looking at the schedule like, how I get it? I've got to work it in. Got to work it in.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I am just tickled pink to have you on with me. So for those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about Kristin Young and how you created Living the Vows?
Sure. Well, hi. I am Kristin Young, the marriage enthusiast. And how did I get here? I got here because I said I do. And when I said I do, I had a bunch of friends who were saying I don't anymore. And I said, wait, what? Wait, what? Huh? What? So it was crazy because right when I was getting married, it was I had about six girlfriends. It was a few of us that got married around the same time, within a couple of years or so of each other. And so I'm watching these marriages, and I was like, yes, it's finally my turn. I can join the wife club. And I was all on my own. We're going to have all these couples nights and game nights and all these kind of things. I was planning out all the stuff we want to do as couples because my husband and their husbands, they were already friends and hanging out and all that kind of stuff. I was like, this is going to be cool. So once we got married, shortly after, within our first 2 years of marriage, I literally had 6 girlfriends who one by one said, I'm calling it quits. And they did not all know each other, but most of them did. But either way, they were just literally saying no more. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. When I was getting married, y'all were on, oh, this is so great, and oh, I'm so excited for you, and they were like, but you were getting married. We couldn't give you the negative. So I was like, I appreciate they were the kind of friends that weren't trying to be the Debbie Downers, but I was like, what's really going on? And it really made me think about what is happening with marriages and just how we address and approach marriage. Because one of the things that I feel so passionate about is the fact that there is not a requirement for any kind of premarital counseling, coaching, education, anything like that. In the state of Maryland, that's where I am, you can literally go to the courthouse. Both of you don't have to go to the courthouse together. So as long as one of you go with the other person's birth certificate, you can get a marriage license. And within 48 or 72 hours, you can get married. So there's no requirement to even know the person. You know, you could meet same day. Here's my birth certificate. We're drunk, you know, and let's hit the courthouse. 2-3 days later, we're married and we're going about our way. The court system doesn't care but you are now legally bound to this person.
Right.
And it's crazy because when you enter into the marriage, literally, as I said, you have 2 to 3 days that you have to wait in order to get married. But you got to wait 6 months to a year to get out. So it's like, what is it? Why don't we put that 6 months to a year on the front end, and you'll have less marriages that are ending? Right. So that's been my whole focus, and that's really where Living the Vow stemmed from. It was really my experience as I was a new wife trying to figure out this whole marriage thing, and also being a supportive friend to those who were exiting marriage and figuring out what the disconnect was and why there were so many challenges within that. So that's where I actually started to transition from those who were initially, I wanted to work with those who were planning to marry. But I soon made that shift from those who were planning to marry to those who were in those newlywed years, because that's where I was at that time, that 0 to 5 years. And even for my friends who were ending their marriages, 5 out of the 6 were in those first 5 years. And what's really happening in those first 5 years? You're getting married and getting used to being married. Even if you live together beforehand, there's a shift. There's something that happens. So you're getting used to getting married. More often than not, you're buying a house or moving in together or something to that degree. You're having children. In those first 5 years, you're changing careers. You're going back to school. There's a whole lot of transition that is happening. And of course, tied into all of that is that good old money conversation, right? So,
right.
The money is shifting in those first 5 years. So there's a whole lot of transition that happens, and there's a whole lot that can be turmoil in those first 5 years. So if you're not comfortable and if you don't have the tools to manage all of those transitions and those shifts, you're going to get frustrated. And when you're in those first 5 years, what are you thinking? Let me be logical. Let me be mature. Let me be ahead of the game. So if things aren't working out, if this isn't the Cinderella princess story that I thought it was going to be, let me go ahead and jump ship now so I don't waste another 4, 5, 10, 15 years. Maybe I got it wrong. So let me jump out now so I can get it right the next time. More often than not, you are just fine right where you are. You just have to be willing to put the work in. Hence, Living the Vows was born.
Wow. Girl, you said a mouthful there. I never even considered what you said about the 6 months and like the 3 days. And it's like, it should be a year on the front end. Well, look, if that was the case, I wouldn't be married because me and Dawn were married within 6 months. But, at least 6 to 9 months on the front end to see if this is really something you want to do. I mean, like, for real.
Yeah.
That is just odd to me. Yeah. You know, wow. I mean, even for my daughter got married, really young at 20. And so she's been trying to get a divorce for over a year now. But she's in the military, he's in the military, and it has been a struggle to even be able to file. And they have not seen each other in 2 years.
Wow.
And she just was able to file the paperwork. I think she said a couple of months ago, in order to even get a divorce. So, and now she's 25 and she's like, that was the worst mistake that I ever made. But it's, when you're young, you don't listen to your parents. And so now, but I was just like, wow, I couldn't believe how long it's even taken her to have the permission to file a piece of paper with the court, and they've been separated for 2 years. I mean, something out of their own control. He's in the Marines, she's in the Coast Guard, so they're not even stationed anywhere near each other. So yeah, wow, that was very powerful what you said, and I like the fact that you said you deal with newlyweds. I think that's really important, and I never thought about the factor of all the transitioning that happens in those first couple of years of marriage. So that is just awesome. So let me ask you this: how do you manage helping other women with their marriages and things of that nature, and living the vows? How do you manage that with being a mom?
Oh, I think the beauty for me is the fact that I am a wife and I am a mom and I'm raising 2 little girls. So for me, it's a blessing because I am constantly reminding myself that I am their example, and they make it very clear that they are watching me very, very closely. So I have a 4 and 6-year-old here, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They're absolutely true blessings in my life. But it's important for me to be able to be their mom. So, but again, because I'm raising girls, I want them to see the kind of mom that I want them to be. And a lot of times we get naturally we're watching moms and that kind of thing, but really being able to be an example. And it honestly, when having children really was a shift for me. And that really was one of the things that pushed me towards that entrepreneur journey,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted them to see a different light. I wanted to be able to be home with them and spend time with them and nurture that relationship. And I didn't want to be constantly on the job 10, 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. It was a lot. It was a lot for me. So being able to have them see what mommy does, knowing that, you know, mommy works at home or the computer, that's basically what they think for right now. But knowing that I can show them pieces of my business, I can take them to work with me,
Mm-hmm.
but then also be available to be their mom, to show up at school, to go on the field trips and not have to ask for permission.
Amen to that.
You know, it's been awesome. So being able to be a mom and have them see me in the life that I want them to see me in, even though there are times when, you know, I'm away for different reasons. I mean, but that's just life. Mm-hmm. But knowing that it's working towards a greater life for them that's completely awesome. Did I answer the question? Because I feel like I tangented a little bit.
No, I mean that was great. I mean, I like you answered one of my other questions, but it's okay. It was kind of like your why, and so you gave us your why because you wanted to be available to your children, which is fantastic. And I know, like moms like Kristin St. Bill, it allows her to homeschool her children. I think I know several homeschooling moms that are African American. So yes, we do homeschool our children. I homeschooled my two youngest for a couple of years.
Homeschooling moms lately, it's amazing, and God bless all of you, because that's not me. That's not my ministry. That's not my calling.
Right.
Going up in the classroom for 2 hours, now I can do that.
Right. You can volunteer, but you're not bringing it home. I hear you, girl. I tell my kids all the time. I say, you know what? If y'all bringing bad grades, we homeschooling again. They're like, nah, we gonna do good grades. We gonna have good grades.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, it's really important. Ramonda, who was on her earlier, she talked about taking her daughter to some of her executive meetings and meetings with publishing companies and things of that nature. And she said her daughter either is coloring or working on something while they're sitting in meetings. And so then it's not this elusive, okay, mom and dad are going off into this world of work and they don't know what that world of work looks like. But now your kids can actually see the whole entrepreneur journey. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's just so beautiful. But the original question was, how do you manage being mommy to them with everything you have going on?
Got it. Okay. So the way I manage it is putting them first. Okay. So one of the things when I transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship, which was just over a year ago, it was because I wanted to spend time with them. So for me, managing that is being available to them. So I drop them off every morning. I pick them up after school every day. So, you know, giving up the aftercare. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they want to go to aftercare, but that was important to me, to be able to be there at 3 o'clock to pick them up from school. They do their homework, they have their snack, but it's our time from roughly 3 o'clock when I pick them up until 8:30 when they go to bed. That's our time. Because what the challenge that I was having before was working my full-time job, getting off at 5:30 to squeeze in the door at 6 o'clock when aftercare was closing, to then fight traffic to get home around 6:30, to then start dinner, and still try to get them in the bed by 8:30. Mm-hmm. Like, I have maybe 2 hours each day with my children, and they're not quality 2 hours. It's hurry up, get your homework done, hurry up, eat your dinner, hurry up, get in the bathtub, hurry up, get in the bed. So managing that was, for me, being able to block out that time. Most days I have that full 3 to 8:30. You know, occasionally I'll have a meeting or what have you, but we have that downtime. So it's not rushed time. It's true quality time to spend with them. So then they know when mommy has a call, they know they need to go upstairs and be quiet. They need to go play. More often than not, I will schedule my I mean, basically, I kind of work in shifts. So I work during the day while they're at
Mm-hmm.
school. I stop, and then I work in the evenings after they normally go to bed around 8:30. So that's when
Okay.
I know schedule my calls around 8:30, 9 o'clock. They're in the bed. I can focus on what I need to do, and then by 11, then it's hubby's time. So
Right. Right. And I like something that you said, and I have yet to hear a mom say it. You say you work in shifts.
yeah,
So, because I was going to ask you, well, okay, once your kids get home, you're done. Like, okay, I holler y'all, my clients and everybody tomorrow. But you say you work in shifts, so it's like you're present in that moment when they're home. Your mommy, you're able to give them their time, whatever that looks like. And then after they go to bed, you pick work back up. And so I think that's probably a good tip for a lot of moms. I know it's a good one for me because I work a 9 to 5. So when I come home, it's like, okay, let me jump on here really quick, give my husband some of his time. My kids are bombarding me with all the high school drama, permission slips, and I need money and all this other stuff. And then I go to the office, but then I don't come back up until about 10, 11 o'clock. So you just made me think about doing stuff in shifts. So I think I may manage that a little bit better. I don't know how to do it, but I think that's a great idea to do it in shifts. That is fantastic.
Yeah. So I mean, and for the most part, it's kind of a regular work day because on average I work from 9 to 2:30, and then as I said, I pick back up around 8:30, roughly 8:30 to 11. I do calls, to follow up stuff or emailing stuff to plan for the next day. So a lot of that's happening in those hours. So for the most part, it's almost a typical 8-hour, or it's almost an 8-hour day. It's just broken up. So, but that definitely works for all of us. It can be a little stressful because I still start my day. Technically, I work in 3 shifts because I have a portion of Living the Vows is the Fit and Sexy Wives, which is my fitness group. So we meet at 5 a.m. for an hour, 5 to 5:45 during the week. So I technically start my first shift about 4:30.
Wow, you are committed, girl. Woo!
And then my second shift starts at 9 a.m. and then my third shift starts around 8:30. But I mean, but it's still, we all make, just like you're making the sacrifice working a 9 to 5 and still doing everything that you're doing, which is a whole lot in the evenings. We all still have sacrifices to make. It's just prioritizing which sacrifices to make and knowing why you're making those sacrifices.
Right. Wow, that is so good. Knowing your why. You got to know your why, ladies. You cannot just jump out there and say, okay, I'm going to start baking cakes, then I'm going to start selling cakes, and then before you know it, you got 50 orders, and people are like, her service is terrible because you don't know your why. What started as a hobby, you think you're going to turn into a business to make money, but sometimes it's got to be a passion more so. Hey, Shantae, thank you for joining us. Thank you. That's another mommy of little girls. She has Cocoa Pie Clothing. Yes, and her daughters have their own business. So, and they're watching mommy do her thing. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I like that information. So you talked about the honey. So how do you make time for him where it's just the two of you, as opposed to just, in the evening when you're ready to go to bed and, intimacy time? But how do you make time for you and your husband?
It's a couple things. One, we do have our evenings. We do normally check in at some point during the day because he works full time during the day. So we normally check in at some point during the day. For the most part, our mornings are not as hectic as they used to be when I was working full time. But occasionally we'll have, when I come back from working out in the morning, sometimes we'll have a few minutes, because by that time he normally has the girls up and dressed for school. So we'll kind of do their lunches together. We'll kind of talk about the day, that kind of thing. But what we do is generally on Friday nights, those are our date nights. So whether we go out or whether we stay in, Netflix and chill, whatever, that's normally our time. So we make sure the girls are in bed on time so that we can start our movie or have our conversation or go out, do whatever we're going to do. And then the other thing that we do is we always acknowledge and celebrate our month anniversary. So our anniversary is September 20th. So on the 20th of every month, we always acknowledge each other. Sometimes we'll do a card or a gift. Sometimes we'll just have a dessert that we share. Sometimes it's just sitting down at night and enjoying a cup of coffee. Sometimes, especially if it's a weekend, we will be a little more proactive about spending longer periods of time together, but making sure we still acknowledge every single month that we've created another victory.
I know that's right.
And then also, because I'm working from home now, there's a little more flexibility with my schedule. Mm-hmm. So when just like this past Friday, I was kind of joking with him. I was like, you should take off one day this week. And so he actually did it. So he took off Friday. He had the day home to relax. We were here together. And probably about a couple weeks to a month ago, he did the same thing. He said, I took off. Let's drop the girls off at school. Let's go to breakfast. So having that spontaneity as well is awesome. So we make it work. We definitely make it work. Awesome. And Sunday is an off day. So that's normally, for the most part, that's normally family time, but we normally get our time in together there as well.
Cool. And Shantae says she loves that. That is awesome. I know when Don asked me, he called, what was that, a couple Saturdays ago, you know, he's on the phone with his very white voice. I'm like, hey girl, what you doing? And, you know, he was like, get dressed and let's go out to lunch. And it was, I was in the midst of doing some work and I said, you know what? I stopped everything, went and got dressed, and I was like, let's go. And we had so much fun. And it was the middle of the day. Even the kids were like, where y'all going? My husband's like, can I take my wife out to lunch? You know? And they were like, can we come? And he's like, no, I'm taking my wife out to lunch. And so I think it's just really important to get those moments that aren't, sometimes it's cool to just get those spontaneous moments where you're really not doing anything and you just decide, okay, let's throw our clothes on, and you know, sometimes we go for a walk in the neighborhood. We say that too. That's his favorite part. But you know, it's important, especially, you know, us coming up on 18 years of marriage. We really have to make sure that we're hey, Melissa. We really have to make sure that we are diligent about making that time for each other. I know here recently I've been kind of stressing out a little bit and, you know, just really want to make sure I'm giving a good quality product and that these MOMpreneurs series is beneficial and that women are receiving from it. And so that has caused me a little bit of angst, a little bit of stress. But, you know, he's there and he's like, babe, I got you. What do you need me to do? Do you need me to X, Y, and Z? And so, you know, he's been really good about that. I had 2 events this weekend. Prime example. And this is why it's easy for me to give to my husband is because Saturday I had a lot of work to do. I knew I was going to be busy all day Sunday. So he decided to offer to drop one of my girlfriends off at an event. She was supposed to ride with me. And so that gave me an opportunity. I had 4 extra hours to work before I had to go to that event. And so something like that, how could you not want to give to somebody who sacrificed? And he was stuck in traffic like an hour and a half taking her and another hour coming back home. But he saw the value in me being at home and being able to work on the MOMpreneur series. And so it's like, that's a sacrifice. Whether people want to see it that way or not, that's a sacrifice. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
So it's really important, ladies, that we, especially on this MOMpreneur journey, and those of us who are wifepreneurs who are watching, you know, our husbands are sacrificing right along with us. And I think sometimes women forget that. We think that we're the ones doing everything, but they're really sacrificing too, whether it's picking a kid up, dropping a kid off, helping with homework, whatever those things are that our husbands pick up that slack, you know, they're giving to us. And so I think it's really important to acknowledge them. Melissa said true. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I was going to say it's also important to include them. And that's one of the areas where I'm improving. But my husband, he will, you know, we actually had the conversation just the other day, and he was just like, well, you just kind of do stuff, and you don't tell me what you're doing. And I'm like, well, I didn't know I was supposed to. You know, it was just kind of this was my thing. And plus, as I said, he works full time. He's been in school for the past few years. He's graduating June 3rd. Woo!
Yay! Woo! That's right, next week. Yes, amen.
But he's been pressing his way so hard with school. So he's been in school 3 nights a week, and then when he's not in school, he's doing homework and all of that. So honestly, it just never crossed my. I mean, part of it is just naturally my personality, being honest, but part of it is also just knowing that he has so many other things going on. To sit down and talk about, well, what do you think about this, or getting his input, it just didn't really cross my mind. But he's addressed it, and he was like, I want to help, I want to be a part. So that's definitely a reminder to me that I will share with everyone. If you have a husband, if you have a partner that's working with you, include them. Just even if they don't have any business savvy at all, still, what do you think about? What do you think about the colors for this website? What do you think about if I create this?
That's good.
Just to create that unity within your marriage, because that's so important. I mean, if it's something that's important to you, it's naturally going to be important to your husband. So allow him to be a part and reciprocate that value and appreciation.
That is so good. I love that. I love that. And they don't know. They cannot read our minds. That's the other thing, if we don't communicate it. So like you said, your husband wants to help, but it sounds like you weren't communicating. I know that there's been times where I haven't. My husband's like, well, you're doing everything, so I didn't think you needed help. Until, the wheels fall off and I'm acting all crazy. He's like, well, you should have asked for help ahead of time. So definitely include them in what you're doing, and or ask them, hey, babe, where do you think you can? What would you like to do to help out? For my husband is lugging books when I have book signings to my car. He'll take them upstairs, put them by the garage door. He's in the morning. Hey, I'll just go ahead and put those in your car for you, or even with the MOMpreneur series, since my husband is he's an actor and things. He critiques every video. He sits there and he watches them and critiques them, but it's good feedback. And so initially I was offended. I'm like, yo, you're not doing this every night, but I had to understand. Right. But I had to understand that was his part of giving back to me. Like, okay, this is how I can help you. And so, I had to be able to receive that. So he's probably watching right now. Usually he'll drop a little comment on all my videos. Okay. But I think it's great because he'll be like, okay, you said too many times. You said this and the third. But I appreciate it, and that's his way of helping in this part. So let them help where they can. It may not be perfect or to your specification, but help is help. And you talk about how they put the diaper on. As long as you put the diaper on, I don't care if it's front waist, back waist.
I can readjust the tape later. It's all good. I mean, and honestly, it just from a marriage standpoint, it may not even the help he's offering may not even be helpful at all. It may not even make sense. But if he wants to be a part, allow him to be a part. You can, and it's just like your marriage. You're going to find ways. You're going to fall into that rhythm. You're going to find a place where he fits. It may not come right away, but if he's saying, oh, well, I have a comment about that, or let me make a suggestion. It's not. Honestly, I promise you, you're going to waste more time trying to fight it and argue about how much it doesn't make sense than just saying, okay, thanks, babe. I really appreciate your input, and moving right on along. Okay.
I like that. You said, and just move right on along. Yes. Thank you, Boo. Thank you.
Put that on a little Post-it note. Put it right on your computer. I'm gonna keep that right there. So I remember that, and you keep that on.
Right. Absolutely. And it's just so paramount that we do that we take that time out to acknowledge their help, because that's what men want. Men want to feel wanted. They want to feel needed. And in our mompreneur journey, sometimes it's easy to focus on, okay, our product, our service, or our business, focus on our children, and then they get our leftovers. When really it should be, they should get our first, and then we get the help in our product services. We get the help with the children because we give. And you said that yesterday on the panel that we were on together. You said that your husband comes first, and I subscribe to that too. That my husband comes first in everything, and because the reality is, in 3 years, when my son leaves for college, it's just the two of us. So it's like he and I need to have a relationship after the children leave, and I just don't think a lot of people think of that.
They don't, and that's the piece that damages so many marriages, because and it's natural. As mothers, we are nurturers. We want to take care of our children, especially when you have a newborn child and you're nurturing those through those first couple of years. It makes sense. They're helpless. You know, our children come into the world. They need someone. They need love. Mm-hmm. But it does not have to be mommy all the time. It does have to be mommy most of the time in the beginning, but not all the time. So one of the things that I always share is that it has to be God, me, we, us. So if you put God first in everything you do, and then take care of yourself, ladies, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, because too many times we're so focused on being mom and being super mom that the wheels are falling off of us. We're getting sick. We're falling by the wayside and still trying. I can still make that sandwich. I can still. No, you can't. You can't run. You can't. You got to take care of you, and then you take care of the we, which is you and your husband. Make sure you two are straight. Make sure you are taken care of, and then you take care of the children, and then you take care of everybody else, including your business. And it seems crazy to think of it that way, but I promise you, if you make that your priority, God, me, we, us, everything will fall in line. You will have the time that you need to focus on your business. I promise you. If your husband feels like he's taken care of, he's not going to be in your ear nagging you. He's not going to be giving you the cold shoulder. He's going to be more supportive of the time that you need when you say, you know what, I know it's Saturday, but I really need the whole day to get this project finished, and I need to be out all next weekend for this conference. He's going to be supportive of that because you've given him all the love and attention that he needed for the last 5 days. So he's okay with the next 2 days off because he knows you're going to come right back after that conference, take care of you, and then take care of him, and the cycle will continue.
That's some good word, ladies. That is some good words. I love that. You said God, me, we, us. I like that. I'm going to have to write that one down. Because I think a lot of times I do God, me, kids, we. and but it's easy because, you know, when you wake up, your kid's like, oh, Mom, I forgot to tell you I need money for this trip, and I need you to sign this permission slip. And my husband's gone by the time I get up. So it's just very easy for me to fall into Don taking care of himself, and I'm really trying to do better at, you know, making sure his needs are met. And ladies, if you need to schedule intimacy time, do that. Put it on the calendar. And I heard someone tell me, she said, Tanya, if you put it on the calendar, it lets him know that you are at that time frame, in that moment in your life, you are making him the priority. And I was like, wow, that's heavy. Because she said, if he sees, Shantae said, God, me, we, us. Yes, ma'am. If he sees his name circled with big old red heart around it, he knows that is his time. He knows your cell phone ain't going to matter. The kids ain't going to matter. What's on TV's not going to matter. It is all about him. And I was like, wow, that is heavy. I just never thought of it that way. So I think that is awesome. So how do you find time for yourself?
How do I find time? Oh, I make time. Okay. I make time. And, right. And honestly, honestly, the thing is that a lot of times we think about, to have that me time and stuff is supposed to be this luxurious relaxation. And honestly, that's not always the case. So, for example, I started, as I mentioned, I had the Fit and Sexy Wives as part of my business, but it started because I needed to take care of me. I was in a space this time last year where I won't say miserable, but I was very uncomfortable with the extra weight that I was still carrying. By that time, it really was one of those epiphany type things. I was like, my baby is getting ready to turn 4 years old. I said, I will not be one of those women talking about, oh yeah, this is still my baby weight, and the baby is 16. I said, I will not be that woman. I said, she's about to turn 4. I said, Kristin, let's just be real. If you lost 1 pound per month in her 4 years, that's almost 50 pounds right there. So let's get really real about it. Let's get to the truth. Let's get to the heart of the matter. So that's when I made the decision to get fit for me and really get serious about me. So what that meant was, in order for me to, because my husband works, he's been in school, he goes to school in the evening because he works during the day. So I had to take care of me and get my me time in around everybody's schedule, which turned into working out at 5 a.m., which means leaving the house at 4:30, which means getting up at 4 a.m. Now, 2 months prior to that, I was the one who could barely get out the bed at 6:45. So to commit to getting up and out the house by 4:30, it was a struggle. But once I got there, I was there and I was committed. And once I started to see the results, I continued to stay committed. So here I am a year later, still willingly getting up and leaving and working out. And now, because of my journey, I'm also being in position to take other women on the same type of journey. So that me time is, for me right now, the most consistent time is working out at 5 a.m. every day. It's a struggle. It's a sacrifice to get up. But when I'm out there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, every Tuesday and Thursday, I run 3 miles. It's just me and God out there running around that lake, running around the track or what have you. That's my time. I get my prayer time in. I get my whining time in with God. I was like, God, what's going on? My planning time in. So that is my me time. So I have the drive. It's quiet when I wake up in the morning. So I have the quiet that I want in the morning. I have my drive time to my location. I have my workout time. I have my drive home. So I've been able to connect with other women. I've been able to connect with God. I've been able to connect with myself. And then I can come home and then get my family going. And all I have is about an hour or so. And then it's me time again to focus on work. So and if I need to take some me time, sometimes I do get that good nap in the middle of the day. And I love it. I take that time. But just know that it's not always going to be convenient. Let's say that it's not always going. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice to take care of yourself. The same way that you sacrifice to go to that football practice, that basketball practice, and the dance class, all in the same 3 hours. Right. You sacrifice for your family. Make sacrifice for yourself.
I think that is fantastic. And Tiffany says she's still putting her gems in her jar.
I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. I love seeing women taking the things that we teach and applying them to their lives. And it makes a world of a difference. And not only her life, but then her family's life. And then that translates into their children having a better experience with mom, which means that their lives are changed, their husband's lives. So then we can affect whole communities just by giving women the information that you're sharing with us tonight. So can you tell us what is one scripture or quote or a book or something that you meditate on to keep you going on those mornings where you're like, I can't get up out of this bed at 4 o'clock, or what are those, what is that scripture or quote or prayer that you lean on to keep it moving?
Baby, I'm worth it. Oh, give it to me, I'm worth it.
I love it. You're the second singer tonight. Mocha sang a song. Wow. Mocha sang this earlier today. So wow, I love it.
Yes, I mean, because honestly, that self-sabotage, that's me. That has been my address, and it's so important for me, especially through this entrepreneurial journey. It's an emotional roller coaster, seriously. But I have to constantly remind myself that I am worth it. I am worth it above anybody else that I'm helping, and I love being able to see the testimonies and testimonials and all of that, and I love hearing the great feedback. But I need to know that I am worth it. All the sacrifices that I'm making, everything that I'm doing, I'm building my own emotional, mental, physical muscles. So I have to tell myself, I am worth it. Give it to me. I am worth it.
I love it. I love it. And that is so key. So ladies, if you are joining us now, I know Tiffany just jumped on a few minutes ago. Make sure you go back and catch the replay of this. You can go right back on your Facebook page and go all the way to the beginning. If you're catching us on replay on YouTube at the Real Wife Movement, that's cool. Make sure you reach out to Kristin Young. She is my homegirl. She is my sister girl. Her website is livingthevows.com. I'll put that on the screen for you in 2 seconds. Tiffany said I'm worth it. I know that's right, Tiff. Yes, you are, Tiff. You are so worth it. So, do you have any parting words for any of the moms, Kristin?
Oh, moms, you rock. Okay, you absolutely rock. So I need you to know that. I need you to know that. Okay, you are absolutely wonderful. You are necessary. You are powerful. So I need you to continue to stay focused on you. And moms who rock, I want you to know that means you have to rest. Moms, you have to rest. Sometimes you have to overcome some of your situations. Sometimes you have to climb some mountains. Sometimes you just got to knock them dead. So
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Wow. That was powerful. So yes, y'all, I'm telling you, this is my girl. Make sure you reach out to her, Living the Vows. If you know of any newlyweds or women who have been married for just a few short years, make sure they reach out to Kristin. She will give them the truth. She will help them stay steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in their marriage, because we all need that. She just has a heart of gold, and she has a love for marriage, just like I do. And so I'm very excited to be able to bring her before you, because it takes a village, and she's touching ladies where she is. I'm touching ladies where I am, and it takes all of us to build up our marriages, our children, our businesses. When we support with our dollars, not just with our words, it allows her to be able to stay home with her children. And I think about that. Every entrepreneur woman that we support that is home with their children, or who desires to be home with their children, we're making that happen. And then that way we make it so that these kids, these children, are home with their mamas. Who wouldn't want that? I when I was home with my children, I had a home daycare. I did a little bit of everything to be able to stay home with my kids, and it was great. I was able to homeschool and raise, help raise other people's children from infants all the way, till they went to kindergarten. So to me, it's important to be a mom entrepreneur. I've been doing it for a long time, and so it's a blessing. And so, Kristin, I just thank you so much for being a part of this MOMpreneur series. We have more moms to come, y'all. We are not over. As of today, I have a list of about 72 mompreneurs that Let's Chat with Tanya Barnett will be bringing to you. Next quarter, I'll have some other fantastic moms, but we still have moms for the rest of the week into next week. So I opened up my calendar because we had a few more moms who are just fantastic, and I just got to get them in front of you. And I cannot wait to share who these other moms are. They are going to knock your socks off. They're going to show you that there are no excuses to get things done. So I'm very excited. So Kristin, thank you again, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I am so excited for you and all that you're doing. I still remember when we first met and just some of the conversations we've had and all the crazy stuff that you're doing. So this is absolutely awesome. I love this platform. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Wow, it's been almost a year, and my confidence was in the toilet. I had no guidance. All I knew is I wanted to help, and I had no confidence. And so just our talks that we've had, and you just kept telling me you could do this, and so I appreciate you because I know you are a part of you is in me, and that's what's making me do what I do. So I appreciate you and I honor you for that, because you did not have to share. I was a complete stranger. Someone just said, hey, y'all need to connect, and we did. And I mean, it's just been a blessing. So I thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love to do it.
All right, hon. Well, I will talk to you later. The mister just got home from Bible study, so I have to go minister to my husband.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. So we will see you.
Enjoy the mompreneur journey and enjoy yourself.
Awesome, awesome. So we will see you again tomorrow right here on Let's Chat with Tanya Barnett. I'm very excited. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.